Hey guys, so it's actually been a really long time since I've actually sat down and done an advice video for you guys, so I decided to do it today. And it's something really personal that everybody's gone through, even me, and it hurts. And it is how to get over an ex-boyfriend, or a breakup. And I've struggled with this personally. I feel like I've lost someone that I felt like I could have seen a future with for a long period of time. But unfortunately, we got together at a young age, and when you have a young couple who just aren't ready for the hardships of adulthood and adult relationships, you guys break up, and I feel like I missed out, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel like they've missed out on something that could have lasted forever because of their actions, their immaturity, or just wrong timing. So I feel like the first step to getting over an ex is you have to cry your eyes out. Like, I don't care if you're a guy or a girl, if you really feel like your heart is broken, go home and cry your eyes out. You have to get all that emotion out. You can't let it boil up on the inside. You have to just get it out of your system. It may take 48 hours for you. It may take a week. It may take a month. I don't recommend a month, but you'll probably stop crying really hard when you get close to a month, and you'll just start really thinking about it. And I think you have to take time to deal with this emotion that you have. You can't hide it. You can't ignore it, because if you ignore it, it's going to come up later and it's going to be demolishing to you on the inside. So I feel like you need to take some time for yourself from life and just think through your feelings, talk your feelings out, whether it be with a friend and by yourself. I've done a lot of thinking on my bed by myself, and I think people need to realize that sometimes you just have to think through it yourself and then talk to people. But you have to get all that emotion out. You need to talk about it, you need to cry about it, and then it's time to try to move on with finishing up or picking back up on life, because life doesn't stop for anybody. Even if somebody dies, you feel like somebody's died because you broke up with them, life doesn't stop. So you're gonna have to pull yourself together, but before you try to be strong like that, just let it out. Express yourself, because it can hurt in the long run for a longer period of time if you don't take that time to do that. Cry it out. So the second tip I have for getting over an ex is you need to delete them from your social network. I made the mistake and not deleted my ex from my social network. This was a guy who I was head over heels in love with in high school, and I knew when we broke up that I had lost somebody that I could have lived my life with for a long time. And I'm not talking about the boyfriend I have now. I'm talking about the guy I was with before that. Like, he had my heart, and he broke it when he left me. And I never deleted him from my social network. So now, when you don't do that, you start to stalk. If you really love that person, when you have a broken heart, you want to see what they're doing, who they're talking to. Are they feeling as bad as you? Are they moving on too quick? You want to look through their pictures, look at their posts, try to decode it. Is he talking about you? Is she talking about you? Are there subliminal messages in their tweets or their Facebook posts? And who is this person that they're taking a picture with? Why does he look so happy? All these things go through you. You start to stalk a little bit. People want to deny it, but everybody has looked up an ex before. And I've had to deal with watching my ex propose to his girlfriend on a video on his Facebook page, and I cried my eyes out. I should have deleted him long ago to save myself, because you're gonna still think of what if I could still reach out to him anytime and talk to him. You need to delete them from your social network, because out of sight, out of mind. And if you're looking at their Facebook posts or their tweets or their Instagram, they're not out of mind, and you're gonna keep having those feelings come up. They may not be as strong as before, but you still feel it, and you should be feeling this if you're in a new relationship already, or you won't be able to move on if you just stay friends with them on social network. And the breakup is just so new. Like, you have to break that bridge. You have to just break it, because it's a bad thing to stay friends with somebody that you still feel like is the one that got away, and you're friends with them on a social network, and you're married or you're in a relationship or you're trying to get over them. It's just not going to work. My third tip would be, now that you've cried it out and you've deleted them from your life, You have to go out with your friends. It's time to get your mind off of it. Let your friends take you out. It's okay to go to a party. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to laugh. Just have fun. Get your mind off of it. Know that you are surrounded by people who love you and who are going to be there for you. Just laugh. Usually when you go out with your friends, that's the last thing on your mind, is because they're making you laugh. You're going out and having fun. You dress up. You look good. Embrace being loved by the people who are going to stand by you. So go out with your friends. You need it. You can't be trapped in the house for so long, or you're not going to be able to get over it. And all that sleeping and crying isn't good for you after a certain amount of time. So, get things off your mind, and your friends are the number one thing that you should be doing. Don't put work on the back burner, but they should be the number one people that you go to. Don't be going to your ex trying to fill that comfort and that void that you feel, because after a while it just feels like maybe if he's talking to you or she's talking to you, it feels like, oh, maybe they still feel the same. You want to go to people you trust, who are your friends, who are going to help you get through this. After you've gone out and done all that, during the day, throw yourself into your schoolwork or into your job. When I first broke up with my ex, I threw myself into my schoolwork and into my job. I wanted to work every day, every hour I could, because I wanted to get my mind off of it. I didn't want to cry. I just didn't want to think about it. So I went to work constantly. I really couldn't pay attention in class because you zone out in class. But when you get home, do your homework. Just try to learn. Try to study for tests harder than you usually would. Just get your mind off of it. You have to do things to get your mind off of things, because off of other things that you don't want to think about, because it keeps your mind active and you can avoid certain things that you don't want to think about, like maybe his new girlfriend, or you're so sad. But just throw yourself into something that's going to preoccupy your time and your mind. Something that really helped me get over when I saw my ex propose to his girlfriend through Facebook was I started thinking really hard about the things that I chose to ignore in his personality. Just because when you love somebody, you choose to ignore their faults. So maybe he chews with his mouth open, or maybe he was too controlling. So I thought of everything that kind of annoyed me, or I could see would be a problem in the future about him, and I thought about it, and I told myself, this is one of the reasons why we wouldn't have worked in the future anyway. He's too controlling. I couldn't go out with my friends. He didn't want me to talk to certain people. So you have to think of it that way. Or you could tell it like, if he chews with his mouth open, just like that, you have to think of how disgusting that was and be happy that you don't have to deal with that anymore. Like, really focus on his faults that you chose to ignore. And there is always something. People are going to always say, oh, there's nothing. There is something. If you were with somebody long enough, you will know some of the faults that they do, or that just annoy you, agitated you, made you mad. Maybe he didn't communicate well enough for you. Maybe he didn't hold hands and you love holding hands. Maybe he didn't show you off like a prize like he should have, because you're a prize, you're pretty. Just things that just pissed you off about this person. Think about it and then tell yourself that is why we wouldn't have worked out anyway. You kind of work yourself up, kind of make yourself just a little bit mad about it, and then you can be like, yeah, you'll forget about it because it's annoying to you. So that's one thing that really made me get over the fact that he was now engaged to somebody else and I wasn't with him anymore. And I know that's, people say, well, you should be thinking about this. I'm a person that when I fall in love, I fall hard, and it's hard for me to get over people, and it takes sometimes years. Like with this ex, it's still taking me years to get over him. I'm almost a senior in college, and I'm still thinking about my ex from high school. So I'm really a softie when it comes to love. When I tell you I love you, I do love you. So that's one of my faults, too sensitive for my own good. So these are just some tips that I've noticed have helped me move on with the fact that we are on different paths in our lives. We weren't meant to walk on the same path, and maybe one day you will go back to the person that you were with in high school, or you were with in college, or you think the one that got away, you might one day get back together. But these are the things that you can do to just help yourself not hold on to the pain, the guilt, the anger, and just live your life in a happy place. So that's all I have to say. There are many other steps or advice that you can get about how to get over somebody. These are just some of the big ones that I've noticed have really helped me. So I will see you guys later, and let me know down below if there's a subject that you guys want me to talk about. And I'll try to help as much as I can. I'll see you guys later. Bye.